there's a central character in Roundabout played by Annie, who I can't stress enough is fantastic.
Yes.
And here's the phases that character goes through. In my mind, when I first dream up this character, cool, and the story that surrounds her, all right? And then that person changes to the person that winds up on the page, because when you're writing, and I wrote the script, you go through and it's a process. You don't just, it's not like, the word on high from God and the 10 commandments show up already written. It's a long process of writing through and changing. So the character changes as you go through that. And then I think most people think, or maybe assume even within the film industry, that that's where the character, gone. Or at the very least, you sit down with the actor and then you work it out before the film, and she brings or he brings something to it, and the character changes a bit again, and maybe the story does. But surely, to God, once you start shooting the film, you've figured all that out, right? No. It's like a battle plan. No plan survives first contact with the enemy. And the enemy in the film, enemy in quotation marks, in making a film, is not really an enemy, but it's just getting out there and beginning the process.
Yeah.
So you get out there, the camera's on, boom, here we go, and maybe their relationship is different. They develop the characters, they go along, and then they change it. And so I saw, because Annie's a really good actor, her changing the character, and we never had a fight, but we had a couple of, disagreements about where it should go. And I was always thinking, no, this is what this character is. This is what this character needs to do. I remember one instance in particular where it was just a poster that I was going to hang in her, the apartment of the character. And she said I wouldn't hang that poster. And it was a poster that was making fun of her arch enemy at this radio station she works for. And she had defaced it and everything and put devil horns on it.
Right, yeah.
And she said, look, I don't think my character would do that. Yeah, sure, I don't like this person. We have conflict, but I don't think I'd stick that in my apartment. And I went, well, it's going to be a really cool visual. And we had a chat, and I said, look, and she agreed with me. She said, ultimately, it's your film. You get to make the final call. You let me have my say. And if you want to do it, I will do it. And I went, okay, I want to do this. I think I'm right in this case. And then she wandered away, and she wasn't angry or anything. She clearly thought I was wrong. And so I wandered off, and I talked to Daryl for a couple of minutes about something else. But as I was doing it, I kept looking at the wall where I was going to hang the photo or poster that she was going to walk by. And I kept envisioning Annie, like, oh, there goes Annie again, there goes Annie again, there goes Annie. And Lita, the character, she's right. So eventually I said, no, she's absolutely right. That Lita Calder, as Annie Briggs has created her with me, would not do that.
Yep. And
totally wrong for the character. Walked back over to Annie. She was in the kitchen. I just said, hey, look, kiddo, you're right. Poster's gone. And, she didn't jump up for joy or say, yeah, I told you so. She just went, cool. Well, I really appreciate you listening to me. And I think that's the right decision. And off we went. I said, I think so too. And that's the kind of collaborative process that I really enjoyed. It's a blessing. Oh, it's a blessing. I sound so sappy, but it is. It's one of those things you go through your life and you want to work with good people, and they're not always good people. I've worked with people I didn't enjoy working with before. Not many, but a few. Annie Briggs, if I was doing a top 10 list of people that if somebody said, you only get to make one more film ever and you need to cast it and you can pick whoever you want, Annie Briggs is in my film. I don't know what role she's in, but Annie Briggs gets in that film. Any chance I would have to work with Annie, it's just amazing. One of those just gemmy people that is wonderful to work with. And this back and forth of ideas and stuff. So because she was so central to Roundabout in almost every scene, we really got to develop that relationship, even though we'd known each other before. And she turned the character into something that I hadn't quite envisioned. So on that cliff, some of that's on her too, because by the time I had reached day 18 of the shoot, or 19, I just realized that, like the photo on the wall that I wanted to hang there, even the ending didn't work for her anymore. The character was something different. It took the character in a different direction, and she took it there too. Yeah. That's what a good actor does, and a good director will listen.